Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast. Excited to have everybody along for the ride this evening. It's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking a lot about SanFilippo Smash and all that activity that's coming up this weekend. Got some other action that we need to tend to with Steve Stilson coming away with the win over the weekend. Steve Stilson was going to be on the show with us this week. He's going to be deferring until next week because he is right now, I assume, tuning in and listening to all the activities that are happening on our show from the parking lot outside of the Steelers Stadium. I believe it's Heinz Field now, right?
No, I don't think it's Heinz anymore. I think they changed it when they built the new one. Or maybe, I don't remember.
You don't know.
He should have been on here with us because we're way better than Pittsburgh is.
That's
my Giants are 2-2 now, so I can talk some smack. But, Crash Course is way better than Pittsburgh is.
So, nonetheless, he'll be on next week to talk a little bit about what his summer's been like with the win at the Keystone Nationals and also the win at Frankie Guy's show over the weekend as they get ready to go participate in Blizzard Bash, which is coming up in Topeka in November. This is episode number 291. Again, putting all of our attention on the SanFilippo Smash. We're going to be catching up with Tim Stilson a little bit later on. Some good news. I don't know if you saw it. Before we get into all that stuff, Tegan, with his announcement, Cora K. Wire sharing some more information in addition to the video of him putting away his medicine.
Cool. Because
he is 6 months early diagnosed cancer-free.
That's awesome.
So pretty good news there, right?
That's awesome. Very cool.
How proud is that? How proud are we of that kid? You know, that's like we watched him front to back. That's like one of the most special things ever. Mm-hmm. It was a great video.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Another friend of the show, T-Bell, Tommy Bell, they had a benefit for him this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. Just life is hectic right now.
I've been telling a lot of people, I just want to get it into September. Then it's October, I can do things.
But I saw Jamie Davis maybe has a track.
Tom does.
Oh, Tom does. Okay.
It's right at Tom's place.
Okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, I see
HGM Speedway, Homegrown Motorsports. Yeah.
Homegrown Motorsports, I like that. I see he was racing there. So also he became a surprise grandfather. I don't know if you saw that over the last week or two.
I did not.
So apparently Haley didn't know she was pregnant. Had her regular girl thing every month, and everything was normal. She didn't gain any weight, and was having some abdominal issues. And her and Ian went to the emergency room, and they said, "Ma'am, you're about to have a baby." And they had a healthy little boy. Everything went well. So it's been a busy little time for T-Bell, but yeah. So T-Bell is doing some fighting too. So we're hoping he gets some good news. I think he's got a week or two left of treatment. Mm-hmm. Really good dude. Good friend of the show. I know he's supported you guys with the RC stuff a lot.
Tom's a lot of fun. I traveled with Tom a couple of times up to Michigan. We've gone to Ohio together. We've gone to Pennsylvania together a couple of times, and he is a lot of fun to travel with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're sending good wishes to him as well.
Ranks right up there with Josh in terms of how much fun to travel with.
Are you allowed to speak to Tom when you're traveling? Because I mean, sometimes we have to ask permission to talk to Josh on the road. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
But you didn't say it wasn't true.
Not fair. What stays in Chris's old silver van, or what happens in there stays in there.
Yeah. It's a mystery that only the recycled Celicas can tell at this point because that van's long since gone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Josh is joining us on the line again. We're going to be catching up with Tim Stilson. We got to update you on some stuff that Ed Brewster is up to a little bit later on. As Brian said, the Giants are well on their way to a playoff berth.
I'd be happy for a winning season.
But Josh Decker joining us on the line to talk a little bit about SanFilippo. Josh has been very busy doing all sorts of things, getting ready, between putting up snow fence to building cars to coordinating flights, and he's been loving every minute of it, huh?
I might hire you to do that for me, Chris. We might go back to that because I hate it. I'll tell you that much. But a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back real quick. Can we talk about Frankie Guy's show before we jump into SanFilippo?
Sure.
I seen Ben was down there. Johnny, Todd Scioppa, Sauer, they all streamed it, and it was pretty cool. That was an area that was losing cars a lot, and Frankie for that was championship night. So they streamed it, and I think they had 140-something cars.
Wow. Nice.
And it was pretty impressive, man. I mean, the track was awesome, and guys were lighting it up all night, and it was kind of like Southwest Pennsylvania championship night. Mm-hmm. And it was impressive. You guys will be able to watch. I'll share a link later in the week, but it was cool, man. It was good action, It was kind of like every time we go down there and watch Bo's shows or anyone's shows down there, they're awesome, but hardcore demolition derbies, I mean, they've been killing it this year, giving away tons of money. Their car counts have been huge, and I just want to throw a shout-out to those guys. I know they're going to be coming up to SanFilippo this weekend.
Nice.
And, dude, the amount of stuff we got going on, I can't even tell you. I can't keep my head straight. It's really exciting. It's very exciting that I can be part of this. And you know me, Chris, I always talk about, bringing people together, groups of people can do more than one person. And SanFilippo is really, it's a derby community. Mm-hmm. We're just keeping everything in line, but wow, do we have some cool stuff. I mean, I don't think, I've been posting here, but when it all happens in one day, it's going to be like, holy cow, there's a lot going on here. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it.
Over the weekend,
super excited about it.
Who won at Wheel Days?
Bob Dixon.
That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. He had that black and white Imperial he brought back out.
Yeah.
Yes. And it looks just the same now.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a nasty ride.
Is he bringing that Saturday?
I hope so. He talked about it. I'd love to see him there. He always puts on a good show, and we're going to have a bunch of Imperials. If you like Imperials, man, they're going to be there.
And
they're going to be there.
And Bob's a past winner. Bob's a past winner of the Cup, isn't he?
Yes, Bob won year number 2. Mike Green won first year.
Yep.
Then Bob Dixon won it. Klinger won it last year.
Right.
Much deserved. He earned that one. And this year, who's it going to be, man? If you're going to have your name on the Cup that you get to keep, and the names are etched in there, man, and you're going to be out there with those guys, it's pretty cool to win the Cup. So if you're listening, you never ran there, no matter what class you run, if you want to run again at the end of the night, whether you're hung on the wall or terminal or battery went dead, whatever, you can all come out for the Cup, the SanFilippo Cup, and that's really the prized one at the end of the night. That's the final meet of the night, and everyone's welcome into that, besides limited weld and trucks.
Right.
But every other class is invited in that, and that is so much fun to watch. You've seen them, Chris. They're crazy. You got compact speed on big cars. It's like, what the heck is going on?
I think it was the year that Chad Winnie sent somebody else out in his Imperial, that a couple cars brought compacts out, and those Imperials caught them a couple times. It was wild. So you finally had to kind of tell him, lift a little.
Yeah, Cody was in a compact. He was in a little Honda Accord, and it got down to a couple guys, but it was him. Bob Dixon was in a limited weld when we allowed them.
Right.
And he was throwing Cody around like a baby. I mean, it was awesome to watch, but Cody definitely was feeling it in the morning. It was fun to watch. But we took out limited weld cars because they won it the first 2 years, and very easily, I might say. So we decided to take it out and kind of give it all the other classes a chance, because most of the time everything out there is junk.
Right. Just limping around.
Yeah, I mean, that heat is usually so fast.
Except last year, Klinger's car was in pretty good shape for that heat.
Yeah. Klinger's car was okay last year, right?
Oh, my gosh. Klinger won the relic class last year, okay? And I think a 58 or 59 Merc. Mm-hmm. And then goes and wins the Cup with it. And I'm telling you, that thing, he probably could have popped the headlights in it and drove it home. I mean, and he was doing work. Oops. That car was just insanely nasty. Everything that guy drives amazes me.
Yeah.
It's like, how does everything he owned never bent. I don't know. He's fun to watch. He was fun to watch that night. He put on a show.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's there again this year. He's always great to watch. I see Gokenauer and the crew are coming up for Virginia, so it's always neat to see what those guys bring up. There's a lot of good cars coming, man. It's definitely the the biggest show of the probably the biggest show of the year, truth be told, car count wise. It's going to be awesome. We went down. What's that?
You mean in New York?
Yeah, definitely New York. We went down last year, and we stayed. And I had to work the next day, so I didn't stay for the Cup. But this year I'm off, so I plan on staying. I think it's just going to be Zach and I going down to watch. But it's awesome, man. It's so much fun to get there early and walk around and just look at cars, because there is such a variety of cars down there. I mean, there's compacts. You're like, I cannot believe somebody's going to get on this thing and drive it on the track. And then there's relics you walk by and you're like, damn, someone stole this out of a showroom somewhere. It was so awesome to see. I mean, really, really, in the relic class last year. I mean, that was without a doubt the most talked about class anywhere in Demolition Derby last year. Was that relic class, and it definitely didn't disappoint. Our buddy Chuck Bowman's taking a 59 Imperial down this year. So if the motor runs in that thing, someone's going to get hit at 100, because that's what Chuck does.
The relic was fantastic class last year. We had over 2 million views between 3 videos that were shared on it. Mm-hmm. It was shared. It was pretty amazing. And this year we have 23 cars signed up. And we have a chat room where all the guys are talking, sharing pictures of their car. And I'm telling you, there is nasty stuff. What I love is they're putting sick drivetrains into cars you've never seen them in. I mean, it's just going to be... I love that class. I'm so in love with that class, just because it's different, and it kind of takes you back, but then they're putting sick engines in it. I don't know. I love that class as much as I love. We got the 2-man extreme, which, I love that from running that in Kansas, and we're full on that. We got 20 cars in the 2-man class.
Wow.
That 2-man extreme class last year, they were off the chain as well. Those guys. Well, I mean, the whole day, everybody is just. I mean, it's definitely one of the hardest hitting shows you will see. But that 2-man extreme last year, they were bending cars in ways that they just don't normally bend. I mean, it was Gokenauer had a suicide Lincoln, and he was hitting people at 40 with that thing. I mean, he was
eating people.
Yeah,
he was eating people.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's a good class. Because if you have a really good team where 2 guys really sync, and sometimes it's just random whether you do or not, I think. Mm-hmm. If you get them syncing out there, and it's like it's almost like watching one man drive. It's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very impressed.
It's a hard class, but Ben and I run it twice, and we didn't get any better the second time. Wayne Jr. and Timmy went down last year, and they did well until they got caught. Gokenauer caught them in the right rear. And but they were down like top 5 when it happened. But they did really well. I don't believe they're going down this year, but
Sagers are always good down there.
Yeah, Sagers are real good down there. So it's definitely the place to be this weekend. I don't want to curse anything, but I've looked and the weather looks good.
What are you doing?
So we should be good there.
It does. It does.
It looks like a nice fall day. That's not going to be too hot, which is great. But the next question is, Josh, will you guys outgrow Morris? Because that's going to happen. Where are you going?
It's a discussion. Trust me. I love the Morris Fair. Actually, they are very good to us. Mm-hmm. They are on our side, which is so rare with fairs. That's why some people say, "Why do you do everything over there?" But when a fair really has your back, you got to kind of stick with them, because then we start doing these other fairs, and it's like, okay, these guys really maybe don't have our back as much as this one fair. I don't know. It's a good question, Brian, because we're going to see, dude. I'm telling you, we're going to be at our max this year. Remember, if we hit 343 cars, that means that Spinning Wheels this summer, our group of Spinning Wheels, has smashed 1,000 cars this summer.
Yeah.
So my goal is 343, which is an absolutely stupid number. That's an insane number to tack in one day and run. Last year we ran 20 heats in 9 hours.
Yep.
We were done at 9:30 at night. I was cleaning up. I finally pulled my phone out of my pocket. It was 9:30 and I was cleaning up. It's like, man, I want to beat that time. But we also have fireworks this year. Right at dark, we got about a 12-minute firework presentation, which was so cool to add on, I think. But as soon as it hits dark, which I learned that from Johnny when we were out in Utah, I fell in love with that night that they had Derby going on, and then the place went black, and they did fireworks, and that's how the night ended. And it was like, man, what an ending. I mean, and Chris, you know that, like, when we went out to Blizzard Bash and stuff, Sam Williams really taught us about atmosphere and stuff, and that's something that I personally am trying to bring to the show. You know, like, we know the Derby's going to happen, so how do you make it when people go home, they say, like, that is the best Derby I've ever been to. That's our goal.
Yep.
Did we make it there? I don't know, but I think with 300 cars, the heats that we have, I mean, not to mention we have a Queen's Clash. We have every kind of compact class. We have every kind of V8 class. We got 6 guys from Indiana bringing relics.
Wow.
6. Yeah, there's another 57 Chevy. I love when people get upset about 57 Chevys. Well, come watch. They're going to smash another one, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm right, I believe there's going to be 2 of them there.
That's awesome.
And there's 23 signed up in that class. You know, now we're changing the order. We're doing a little different this year. We're going to change the order and bring trucks earlier in the night because they put on just such an amazing show. I want to get people on their feet early on. You know, really get some excitement. Johnny Gullo is coming. His car is ready. He's going to run the bone stock heat. Skinny's car is ready. Now, I got to find a flight for Skinny. I'm actually working on it as soon as I get off the phone with you. I got to try to get Skinny here somehow. But his car's ready, and he's going to run the bone stock class 2 in the V8 class, which, you know, I love that class, and they're just going to go junk stuff. But I know the Psyopers are bringing a car. Jason Sauer's coming up. He's going to be tagging cars. The person that wins the raffle car, okay, how about this? I'm going to pull your name. You're going to come down, and Jason is going to paint one side of the car special to you, just like as if it was your car.
Cool.
And you're going to go out there and smash that special paint job out there. Not only are you running a V8, which is going to be a Roadmaster wagon that screams, but you also have a sour paint job on it. This is going to be one of the best raffle cars to win. You're going to want to buy money on a raffle car, trust me. But we got some good stuff planned. We got stuff like that planned all day, you know, and they're going to be doing autographs in the morning, so you want to get there early. Between 11 and 12, we're going to be doing autographs and pictures, and you guys know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
But I want you to bring your kids. I got so much going on for your kids. I want your kids there. Bring your kids, you know.
How many heats do you have planned?
Talk about?
How many heats do you have planned right now?
20.
20? 20 again?
That's
20 on the docket. Last year we did 19 in the Cup. So
right.
Trying to match that. The problem is I don't want to put. You don't want to. There's a fine line where you don't want to put too many cars because they're jumping each other so fast. You want to keep that fast pace. Eagle Towing for us is incredible because sometimes they pull out 2, 3, 4, and 5 cars in one drag.
Right.
If you've ever been to our shows,
yes.
Yeah.
They clean that track out like woo.
Which is
So
great.
sometimes it's better just to keep the. I don't know. That's a fine line. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and that's one of the challenges is again, like you're talking about atmosphere, and it's an entertainment sport, and that's great. If you have a really fast pace and you have a 15-car heat that's done in 8-10 minutes, but if it takes you 25 minutes to clear the track, your atmosphere's done.
Exactly. And Chris, we've been to so many shows where you watch a great heat, and then we sit there like kind of getting bored as cars get dragged off the track. That's when you lose people, man. Now I got great things planned between the heats. And we have some wonderful presentations planned. We have some people coming from all over the country to present some checks. There's some really cool things happening. I got some fun games with the kids that we're going to play. You know, I bought tons of candy because I know the kids love just getting a ton of candy. Keeps them quiet up there. You know, if they're chomping on some candy. I learned that it works well. But I got some. You know, it's going to be a fun day. We got it jam packed. But you know, when you start dragging on, pulling cars off it, you start losing people. And people are like,
right.
"Oh, let's go home. Let's go home." I don't want people saying that. I want it to be dark, and people are like, "We got to see the next one. We got to see the next one." Kind of like the old days. You know, when you were a kid, you were like, "Dad, I'm not leaving. I got to see the last eat." That's how I want it to be. You know.
Definitely.
And there's something to be said about moving the trucks earlier, and it's almost like you're setting up a fight card. You got to move your fights up and down through the course of the card so that you don't have all the action stacked at the end. You got to keep the crowd in early on, and by moving the trucks up, I think that's a good move. Now, like, so let's say somebody takes out a compact in one of the early flights and something dumb happens. Can they run that later on in the day? Do they have to register again? How does that work? Or once you're assigned a heat, that's your heat, and if something happens, the next change you get to run is the cup?
You can. Majority of the classes, we have multiple heats. Let's say just bone. I'm going to use an example, bone stock. If you run bone stock, there's multiple. If you run and you get hung up and you want to go back out, you do have to let us know so we can get you on the sheet.
Right.
But, of course, you just go back. It's free to run a car. You pay to get in, but your car is free, so there's no, like, paying or anything later on. Now, my suggestion maybe is to save it for the cup at the end of the night.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that say, like, hey, my wife ran the Queen's Class. Can I run her car in economy after that? Absolutely.
Sure.
You know, we want people to run your cars. I want you to junk your car, run your car, have the day, give it to your friends, give it to someone from out of town, whatever. Just have as much fun as you can on this day, and everyone should take home a junk car. That's the goal. You know,
They did last year.
If we could have 300 plus junk cars, it would be great.
The event itself, free to enter, not necessarily prize money on the line as much as it's bragging rights and donations, right?
Yes, real quick, a couple classes are for money, and it means, like the relic class and the extreme class, we did them in the spring, and we had the drivers pre-sign up. So those guys paid money to enter, and they're going to win money. Just a few classes. The rest of the classes is we have awesome SMW bumpers, those nasty bumpers that they're making for virtually every class. The winner is taking home a $400 bumper, you know, a bumper that's going to last you forever.
Right.
Forever. You know, that's the best part of it. But we have tons of giveaways. You know, we have second place and third place prizes and prizes throughout the day. So we're just going to be giving stuff all day long, but there's no money per se. You know, that's why you don't put any money in. There's no money coming out. You're just having a good time.
Right.
You know, you're just bringing your car, smashing it. Now, we hope that you guys spend money in raffles. We're going to have multiple raffle cars. We're going to have, Babe, what else are we giving away?
You doing an engine this year?
Oh, we had that Chinese auction. Real quick. Last year it raised so much money was the Chinese auction.
Right.
We have Johnny gave jackets signed by a bunch of Utah guys. There's wiki cool stuff in the Chinese auction, and everyone needs to go there early before drive time, before noon, and put money in these Chinese auctions. We have amazing stuff. Wait till you see the stuff that's over there. Really cool stuff. And I know that Rick Hansen painted something special.
Nice.
Hippie painted a Power Wheel special, and Sauer is painting something special that will all go in the Chinese auction, and you can win it that day, all by Demolition Derby artists, which is pretty cool, too. So we got, I mean, dude, we're packed.
That's awesome.
We're pretty, and if I could just go back and touch on something quickly, the reason why we're doing this, and today was actually the funeral of Mia, and Martin and Mia were what started SanFilippo Smash. Jeremy wanted to help not only his son Martin, but kids of the future that have this disease, and Mia, which lived very close. They knew that family the whole time. And this girl is only 8 years old, and she passed away. We went to the wake yesterday. I know there was the funeral today. Jeremy was out there. And these are people's kids, an 8-year-old kid. I can't tell you how bad it feels. You know, it's like we're trying so hard, and this one bothered me a lot because money, as much as we're trying to raise money doesn't mean anything. And we could raise $1 billion, but it's still going to get this. We're not doing it fast enough. Let me just say it that way. I want to work harder. My goals are more aggressive because I don't want families going through this. And we're going to talk about it at the Derby, but some of the money that's been invested, it has been given in the charity, has seen progression. There are things out there that are helping these kids already, just in the new studies that have been going on. That's exciting.
What's the goal for this year? What's the donation goal?
Our goal is still $50,000. Jeremy's going to talk about that because it's tough with the whole Mia situation now. Mia's family wants us to donate the money towards SanFilippo, which we had many things that were going to go towards Mia specifically.
Right.
But the majority of what gets raised goes to Team SanFilippo, and that is for them to find the cure for this Now, we raised a little bit of money through the raffle cars that day. We used to do it for Mia and Martin, and that's just for doctor bills and things like that. And also, our group has built another charity that Spinning Wheels has built a charity, and it's taken us a while. And Jody and Jeremy have worked on it forever. That charity, and we're going to talk about it on Saturday, but that is to help families locally. And we've already helped some families locally. We're not going to go out and tell everybody every time when we go help people, but what our goal is if somebody's child in our community gets sick, we're going to help you. This is going to be a demolition derby. This charity is set up for helping fellow demolition derby family members. And we already know some families that their kids have gotten sick and they need help. And that's when Demolition Derby needs to be able to say, like, hey, we got that foundation right here. This is really a foundation for everyone in Derby, you know. And the goalies have worked. And I went to the lawyer. I went and witnessed it all go down. And it's pretty incredible the amount of work the goalies have put in to try to help kids in the future. And I'm behind them, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So I need you guys to come out. I need people to come out and listen. If you only got $5, you just spend your $5. You don't have to spend $1,000. You know, I don't think people realize how much their $5 and their $10 and they bought one raffle ticket. That helped. Thank you. That stuff helps. And when we get so many people, when we have 3,000 people there, everyone's $10 adds up real fast. Yeah. So think about that. When you say to yourself, hey, I only got $5 left, that $5 matters. So I just want to say thank you pre-gaming, but, you know, don't say like, hey, I can't come because I don't have much money. That's okay. You don't need much money. And just your presence there helps us, you know. But we have much more, after this week, it's like we really see what we're working for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not giving up. This is what we're working for. I want to help these kids. And someday, I say this constantly, Chris, and I'm dead serious about this. Someday, they're going to say that Demolition Derby, the sport of Demolition Derby, maybe helps cure a disease. What if we could do that as a group?
That'd be nice.
That's bigger than any of us, you know. And then you know, are people saying Demolition Derby is a bunch of dirtbags at that point? Absolutely not.
Right.
It's a goal for us, you know, as a group, as a community, you know, and that's our goal, that when you come, you're helping us reach this goal, you know.
You know, you brought up Mia's passing, and I'd read about it over the weekend, and you know, it was in my head, and you know, the first thing you think is, you know, she was 8, you know, and I mean, Chris's kids are that age, mine are, you know, have gotten a little bit older, but you know, and we all think about Jeremy and Jody and Martin, you know, but sometimes it doesn't, you know. I think about them a lot. I really do. You know, Jeremy and I have become really good friends, and we talk a lot, and you know, so I really think about him a lot. And then today, you know, I sent Jeremy a message like I always do. You know, it's getting close to deer season, so I figured, you know, talk some deer hunting. And so, what are you doing? He said, getting ready to go to Mia's funeral. It was just like getting punched in the face, like, because you know, you don't think about that. I mean, that's not, unfortunately, you know. And it was just like it hit me all over again how bad this disease really is. You know, I mean, it's such a terrible disease, and you know, the fact that, you know, we're the group that's come together and is doing so much good. You know, it really is. It says a lot for the people. But I've said it from day one. You know, since we've been blessed to have, you know, the encounters we've had doing our crash courses. You know, this. You know, people can say whatever they want about Demolition Derby, but I mean, we are, you know, this is the backbone of America. This is the guys that, you know, and I touched on it last week. These are the guys that go out and work, you know, 50 or 60 or 70 hours to, you know, to support their family. And then they work another 50 or 60 hours on their derby cars to support their derby car habit. So, I mean, you know, when you get right down to it, I mean, this is, you know, we're the backbone. I mean, this is, you know, the blue collar. You know, and I mean, there is some, you know, some white collar guys that go out and do it with us, but I mean, you know, we're the ones, and we're taking care of each other, and it doesn't get any better than that. So, you know, I hope that, you know, I hope there's 4,000 or 5,000 people that come out and watch this weekend. You know, I'll stake my word on it that it's going to be an amazing show. I said it last year. SanFilippo was probably the best show front to back that I saw. It didn't stop. Front to back, the stuff they gave away, the stuff you can win at raffles, everybody was happy all day. Drivers laughing, joking, shooting the breeze. I mean, it's a laid back day, but it's just there's such a good feeling about it because there's so many people there, working on doing something good. It's really awesome to be a part of. I'm come down and do a little bit I can to support, and hopefully we can get a lot more people out there to support. Like Josh says, every little bit helps. I mean, come out and spend a couple, $2, $3, $5. I mean, somebody like Josh that's loaded, he could spend 10, 12 grand and he wouldn't even it wouldn't even matter to him. But us little guys, it's our 10 or 12 bucks that matters, right, Josh?
I'm giving away shockers out there. Okay, trust me, I'm giving away.
Josh, look at man. I see pictures of your yard, and I can't imagine the hustling you're doing to support the
beautiful. Oh my God,
Josh,
it's probably the most beautiful front yard there is.
Real quick, just so you know, is before the show started, I told Brian that I would buy him a shocker next summer if he got you so mad you hung up on us.
You know what? I know you didn't do that because I know Brian, and he would do that very quickly.
I wouldn't do that to you, Josh. Come on.
But can I touch on something you talked about that's very important to me? That is a day, and this is going to be SanFilippo 4. Mm-hmm. We are so laid back that day. That is a total day of fun. Like if you are somebody that you really care about winning, probably not your day. This is not a day that we're super competitive and stressful. Yes, on the track, everyone is competitive, but everyone gets along, shakes hands. And like Brian said, it's a day of fun. We want you there just really enjoying yourself. The cool thing is there's people coming from everywhere. Canada, all the way to the south, everywhere. Go meet them. This is your time to walk around and talk and go meet people from other places. I think that's why people have a lot of time because they get to catch up with people that they haven't seen in a long time, or they're meeting totally new friends. And there's everyone going to be there. You got to be there. I mean, everyone's going to be there. And it's relax free. If you have any drama you want to bring, just don't even come. But we don't get that really at any of our shows. I mean, the respect level and everyone's really cool at all of our shows. And I know SanFilippo is going to be the same. It's just going to be unbelievable hitting after unbelievable hitting. Oh, and one thing. When I was out in Utah, Gumby came last year to SanFilippo. And Gumby on the live stream was talking about how he thought SanFilippo was maybe the best derby he'd ever been to. And I was hugging the guy because it's like, I love you, sir, because I just want to say for the drivers in our area, how proud of a moment is that this guy that, in my opinion, puts on the best shows in the country is saying that one of our shows impressed him. And I was so proud of our drivers. That's like, I've always been saying that our drivers are crazy, first of all, and we don't care. We just junk cars. We actually have a lot of fun junking cars. It's not all about the money and winning. And we've been proving it. And SanFilippo proves it to the whole country that we junk cars. We do not care. And remember, at SanFilippo, no one's winning any money. There's 300 cars. Let's say every car on average has $1,000 into it.
Oh, yeah.
All that money is going to get wrecked that day for no prize money.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is. When you really sit back and think about it, it is.
It's awesome.
Because, there is going to be some wicked machines there this weekend. Mm-hmm. And, if they're lucky, they're going to get their drivetrain out of it. And other than that, it's going to be junk. So,
hey, and remember, if you're on the fence about bringing a car, every person that has run a show for us this year has a ticket to win a built LS motor from Jeffy's Fab Farm.
That's right. What it was. I knew there was an LS getting given away somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's giving away an LS that's all cammed out and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I know that it's nastier than the one I got, and I love the one I got. But we're going to give it away to a driver that drives our show. It doesn't cost any money. You can't buy any tickets. You have to just bring a car, and at SanFilippo, you will get one ticket. And we're going to draw that at the show. And we're also giving away a diver tranny. Divers giving away a tranny again, which divers hits us up every single year. So we got a lot of cool giveaways and stuff. But it's going to be just nasty with the drivetrains, the cars that are going to be there. It's going to be pretty crazy. And don't forget to get your pre-orders in with Jeffy. I know that he said he's going to have to work 24 hours a day, and I'm fine with that. It's fine for him. He'll be fine. This is what you do. And get your pre-orders in. SMW's coming up. If you want one of their nasty bumpers, which again will last you forever, they're coming up. They could probably bring it up, save some shipping on you. They're going to be here too. So, get your pre-orders in with those guys.
Sweet.
I think that's everything I got. I said so much.
There was a lot to cover.
I think I got it all out. I want you to come Friday night. If you come to Tech early, please do. Because let's say we have 300 cars. It's so much for Ben to try to get through on Saturday morning. Ben will be there, so don't try getting any crazy stuff happening because Ben's going to catch it. But come Friday night, we're going to have a check. We'll have some food. We're going to be pre-inspecting cars. So I know Johnny's going to be there. We'll all be there hanging out. So come hang out with us on Friday. Get your car pre-checked, and then just come back Saturday. Other than that,
hey, Josh, you didn't do a lot of running this year. Did you get any concussions?
Nah, but I'll tell you what, my only heat that I ran in New York was against Klinger. So did I get a concussion? Yeah, probably. My car's junk in 3 shots. I know that. I didn't even get 2 minutes out of a car. I was like,
did you hit him headlight to headlight? Did you hit him headlight to headlight just so you can say you did?
Yeah. I did it. The dumbest thing I ever did. As soon as I did it, my whole hood got up. It's like, you are dumb.
That's awesome.
Pin it from now on. Just pin it. Yeah, you're not going to win this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So I'll see everybody there. Get there early. Like I say, get there early because it's going to be packed. It's going to be, Jody saying standing room only. I mean, I kind of believe it. Last year was pretty packed.
Yep.
So, and bring your kids' Power Wheels. We got Frankie guys giving details. We got trophies. We got a whole bunch of stuff for the Power Wheels kids. So bring your kid, and we got stuff planned front to back. I mean, I'm telling you, you're not going to be bored. I hope. My goal is for people to walk away saying that was the best demolition derby I ever saw. That's what I want you to say when you go home. I'm going to work towards that. We're all working towards that.
Well, 300 cars in the action that you're going to see Saturday afternoon at the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris, New York. Online, spinningwheelsproductions.com. There's an events calendar on there. You can find all the details, rules, regulations. If you're not sure where your car fits, there's a bunch of contact information that you can use to figure out what the best place is for you to bring your car, what division to enter in. Josh, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got to go book more flights to help get everybody else here by the end of the week. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Hey, I miss you guys.
Come up.
You know that. I know. I'm talking to you guys like, I miss you guys. I know. This week is not the week for it. But, yes, I'll get up there for sure.
We talk about spinning wheels about once a month, if not more. And
I love you.
You knew that going into this weekend we were going to have some sort of focus show.
Hey, when this weekend's done, Spinning Wheels, over 7 shows, will give away over $70,000 to its drivers.
That's awesome.
That's
so I just want everyone to remember that when you're picking a show to your run, not only do we pay top dollar, but we also give stuff away just for showing up like LS Motors. We do it year after year. Next year, when you're picking your shows, Spinning Wheels.
Hey, Josh, the next time you come up, does Crystal have to send a limousine to pick you up and bring you up, or are you going to drive up yourself? I'm just wondering.
No, Brian, I like to go back to the helicopter.
All right, that's cool. You look way cooler in a helicopter.
I'll talk to you guys later.
I'll see you later. Have a good night, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
You too.
See
you guys.
Bye. There goes
Josh is in such a good mood, I couldn't even get him going.
I know. I think he was fighting very hard. He was fighting really hard to avoid any interaction with you as a whole. Special Demolition Derbies has a couple shows left on the calendar in 2 weeks. October the 12th at the Fayette County Fairgrounds. That's Washington Courthouse, Ohio. That's their annual fall cleanup show. Compact cleanup, any of your pro stocks, full-size cleanup, street stocks, mowers, Power Wheels, all the order of the day there. If you don't feel like traveling, you got the option to stay here. We talked about SanFilippo coming up on the 5th. The week after that, Elston's cleanup show. They're working on a Dodge pickup for Toby over at Tim's house early this morning. So I don't know if he needs the engine out of that for his driver or what, but they were over there early.
Well, they probably got out of work and came right home and went to.
It's entirely possible. November 7th to the 10th is the final show on Smash It Demolition Derby's calendar. That's the annual Blizzard Bash. That one is at the Kansas Expo Center, Topeka, Kansas. Blizzard Bash 2019 is going to run from the 6th through the 10th. The heat draws are on the 6th. 7 to 10 is the pit party down there in Vendors Row. First round of qualifying for the national and qualifying brackets are scheduled for November the 7th. Remember, the national draw goes for the big money, the qualifying bracket. The top 2 teams in the qualifying bracket, the last 2 teams running, move into the national draw the following year. The first 2 teams out of the national bracket move over to the qualifying side. Or maybe they don't come back. That's up to them. Move over to the qualifying side. They lose their spots in the national draw if they are the first 2 teams eliminated. November the 8th is the second round of action for both the national and qualifying brackets. November the 9th, business picks up, compact and limited weld team heats. All the Team B features, the trucks, the limited weld one and dones. And then November the 10th is Championship Sunday. All the Team A mains on deck for November the 10th online, blizzardbash.com.
You got a chance to look at the teams?
Not yet. Real quick, one more quick item of business here. Let me see if I can get this thing to fit the screen quickly. Ed Brewster is going to be on the road again, or still, depending on how you look at it. He's going to be out in Ohio this time. He's in Montpelier, Ohio, for the JMW RC Demo Derby at the 31st NRCTPA. That's the National Remote Controlled Tractor Pulling Association.
That would be cool.
The World Champions, October 11th through the 13th, 2019, in Montpelier, Ohio. The derbies are going to be running national class, the milk truck class, the team outlaw, and the truck class. Inspection Friday at 3 o'clock. Heat number 1 for the national class at 6:30. 8:30 is the national class. Fun run Saturday. Inspection opens at 9:30. Heat 2 and Heat 3 for the national class at 10 and 12. The team outlaws at 1:30. Heat number 4 for the national class is at 3. The milk trucks are at 4:30. Last chance qualifier at 6:30 and 8 o'clock is the national class derby. And then 9 o'clock will be a national class fun run Sunday. National class Consi, national class Maine will be the order of the day. 9:30 inspection, 10 o'clock start, 12:30 national class. They bring the track in for the pulling tractors in sections of clay.
Awesome.
And then the derby is run on carpet that's flipped upside down, so they're on that plastic weave backing, which it is effective, to say the least. So now we've run through most of our show. What you got? I got to get Tim Stilson on the line here, too.
I can't remember. What was I talking about?
I don't know. What were you talking about?
I don't know. Just definitely. You know, if you're on the fence about going to SanFilippo, come out. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all.
I should have put that on you, huh?
That's all right. They can look at you. And I'm here to tell you, part of the fun thing to watch is when Eagle Towing shows up, and they have these beautiful Ford tow trucks, and they hook up. Literally, they'll line up 3-4 cars. If they're compacts, I've seen them do 5. Drag them all off at once. So they drag them off to the end of the track, and they have people running them away. And it really works well. Last year they had a little bit of an issue at SanFilippo, so I don't if I remember right, they weren't there, but they've been back to all the shows since. So just another one of the great supporters for Spinning Wheels in SanFilippo. So.
It's going to be a good one. Tim Stilson is joining us online. Tim's going to be representing Team Me at SanFilippo 4. Tim, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're doing okay. It's been a tough week for sure for all the folks over there with Team Mia. How's everybody doing?
Everyone's doing pretty good. Busy day today, busy day yesterday, and looking like a busy day of building this week.
I bet. How excited is everybody looking forward to SanFilippo?
Pretty excited.
We've seen Tim a bunch of times out there, and he runs with just reckless abandon. Probably going to hurt himself just as much as everybody else when he goes out there and hands out the hits, but ton of fun to watch. One of the many guys that are out there running in that same wide open style that we've come to be accustomed to out there at the SanFilippo events. What are you building? I mean, you probably got a bunch of vehicles coming out of the shop for this.
We got one minivan, and we got, as of right now, I think the total is 8 Camrys coming.
Oh my goodness!
It's a lot.
That's crazy.
Why is he firing right?
Oh goodness! Yeah, it's
what?
8 Camrys. There's guys that won't demo that many Camrys in their career. They're going to wreck 8 of them out of the same shop this weekend. Just crazy. Team Mia versus Team Martin is usually the first heat of the day.
Right.
It's kind of fun to see everybody go out and have a good time. That they put on a good show last year. Jeremy runs in that. Kylie usually runs. I assume she'll probably be back. She's away at college, but I assume she goes back or will be back for that. Kylie runs a lot like Jeremy, so it's good to watch. But it was a fun heat last year. They put on a good show. It's just a great way to kick things off. So looking forward to that.
That is a lot of Camrys to bring out of one shop. How many fit on a trailer?
I got a 2-car. I'm going to be borrowing Jeremy's 2-car, and hopefully a couple single cars, and hopefully we can do it all in one trip.
Camrys, you can just stack them on top of each other. Just 1, 2, and then,
I was going to say, on the ride home, you're going to be able to fit 3 or 4 on the 2 cars.
You have the front end, the driver's seat, and then nothing from their back, so you'll be able to shoehorn it right in there.
I figure whatever's not junk by the end of the night, I'm just going to start giving them away and sending them to the Cup, and I'm sure my buddy Steve Depew, he'll have everything junked in one heat. So we should have definitely have junk by the end of the night.
What does this event mean to you as a builder, as a driver, in terms of your family and your friends and stuff like that? What's this event mean to you, and what kind of effect has it had? I mean, we've been doing this now for 4 years. Certainly we're not. Its significance isn't lost on the community.
An effect on me, it means a lot. Especially being for the kids, and it pretty much. I don't even know how to say it. It's a good charity. I love what they do. Jeremy, Josh, they're doing an amazing job with it. And I actually this SanFilippo, before we even had the issue with Mia, I'm actually getting my wife back into it. She's going to be running the Queens Clash. Mm-hmm. My buddy, he usually runs one a year. This year he wasn't going to run. He's running one this year. I got a couple more guys that used to run, just whatever they could find. They're running Camrys this year. I'm trying to push to get a lot more people involved and show them, it takes money to have fun, but once you have everything, it really just flows right through.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to run one show, I mean, this is the show to come run. I mean, it's a good time. You're running in front of a huge crowd. So, I mean, if you're gonna run in front of one, this would definitely be the one to come run.
Yeah, definitely. SanFilippo is one of the top notch. I could say I've had my year of sandbagging this year for money, but tell you what, I definitely won't be sandbagging for SanFilippo.
No, there's nobody sandbagging SanFilippo. That idea, and that's we talked about that before, where what would happen if it was like even money across the board. Everybody that made it to the feature got paid the same thing. Would guys just go out and stand on it, here there isn't prize money except for the classes that Josh mentioned. Yeah, you get some nice stuff if you finish in the top 3, but people don't really seem to mind that stuff,
and it
because
doesn't register. No, it's like
they just go out like you and. It's funny because everybody's different when they drive on a.
Do you want to be known as the guy who sandbagged for battery box?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, somewhere between driving, coming out of where they park the cars and driving onto that track at SanFilippo, everybody remember the year we seen Kenny Rosno unplug the chip and throw that out the window?
First or second year of Blizzard Bash, right?
Well, that's what everybody does here is they pull out that chip that says, let's take it easy for a little while and see what we can do. And they throw that chip right out the window. And they say go, and boy, do they. So it's a great show. It's so much fun. And the best part is everybody is in such a good mood all day.
Right.
The officials, the fans, the drivers, everybody is genuinely having fun. And it's so good to see because, unfortunately, most derbies you go to, there is a little bit of drama just for whatever reason. But it's like that with any motorsport, really. But just to see so many people having so much fun, it's really a good day. So looking forward to it. Can't wait to be there. Maybe I'll try to sneak in somebody's car at some point. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Follow Tim around. He's going to have spares.
I don't know if I'd fit in a camera. I'm not as svelte as I once used to be.
You would once.
And those things hit really hard. I don't want to spend my day off Sunday recovering. I'd like to be able to get up and maybe sneak out to the woods and take a nap with a bow in my hand. So, those compacts hit pretty hard. I'll just be sitting in the stands watching those. Those guys are crazy.
Mm-hmm. I know everybody's looking.
Yeah, they definitely.
Go ahead, Tim. Go.
They definitely hit hard, but it's for a charity like that, I'll take the pain for a week straight.
Cool. And people will be taking pain for a week straight after this show.
That is, it's not an exaggeration.
No. And, you mentioned, and I wanted to talk to Josh about it, and I can't think of the guy's name, but I think he's won every one, and I could be off on this one, but he's either won or finished second in all of Spinning Wheels truck shows this year. It started out as a full-size Chevy, and now it looks like a Ford Bronco. And that thing is
yeah. Shoot, I know who you're talking about, too.
Yeah, it's
the one we saw in Ohio.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And it is, the front is just as straight as could be, and
You'll never bend that.
No. He tries every time he drives it. I don't know what that thing has in for a motor, but man, does it move. And they have that in one of the first heats. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, if you're on the fence, come watch. If I'm wrong, then you can call me names. It won't be the first time, but I really think you'll have a good time and donate some money to a great cause.
Josh was saying that I didn't hear you, Tim. Go ahead.
SanFilippo is definitely where you want to be on Saturday. They're going to be giving away a lot of good stuff. It's for a good cause, and you're definitely going to see a lot of cars get wrecked, all the way from old school to new school to stock builds to limited welds.
Josh was saying that the donations that were collected by Team Mia, that some of that is going to be put back into the overall SanFilippo program. Do you know anything about that?
I have not heard anything about that.
All right, well, I'm not going to put you on the spot with that then.
I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those shows that there's definitely, like Josh says, it's bigger than us. So come on out, enjoy these guys with their Camrys, and like I said, the first heat, Team Martin and Team Mia, great way to start the day. And it only gets faster after that because the track is, it's a little wet then, but I don't think they water it the rest of the day. So
depends on the heat, really.
Yeah,
a couple years where it was overcast all day and it never needed any water.
No, it just gets tackier and tackier, and so get there early, get a good spot. It was funny last year. Myself and Dan O'Connell and a bunch of guys from Seneca County ended up standing on top of a crushed Ford Explorer with Hammer and Hank Pensick and his family.
Is that the one that was right behind the the billboards?
So I asked Jerry, I said, is that Explorer still there? And he said, no, they ended up moving it. So I'm going to have to scout out a new place to get a good seat. So I'm thinking about maybe up in the where you filmed the one year.
Crow's Nest?
Yeah.
Bring rubber gloves.
Okay.
You'll want those.
You did just watch the show?
Yeah. If you're going to go up into that crow's nest, bring rubber gloves.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of pigeon dwelling happening up in there.
Oh, gotcha.
It was interesting. What else, Tim?
I think that's about it. Hopefully, I see a lot of cars. Jeremy's goal is 343. I'd like to see 350 plus.
Right.
And hopefully it keeps growing from there. There's a lot of good guys that come, and it's always going to be for a good cause. Whether it's money or not. It's hopefully sooner or later they find a cure, and we can keep going until we do, and after that keep going to keep helping families.
Yep, and that's the thing when I mentioned Josh about outgrowing, that wasn't anything bad about Otsego County Fairgrounds, because that is a big fairgrounds and it's got a nice track, but people and cars keep coming, and it's gonna usually they have a picture at some point, and when you see an aerial of the amount of cars, the amount of people, and the parking and all that stuff. I mean, it's a good problem to have. It really is. But and I do know how well Otsego is. Things have been going were really good this year and have improved. So that wasn't a knock against the fair board or the fairgrounds or everything. It's just a fact that everything is getting so big.
Yep.
But, again, that's a good problem to have. I've heard the number 340 and I've heard the number 350. I'd like to see, I think even 400 vehicles there would be pretty spectacular. I know Jeremy and his inspection crew would probably kick me in the shins for saying that, but, that's more cars I get to see wrecked. So
it's only an extra 57 cars over their goal.
It's a big deal. I mean, no biggie. I mean, how long can it take to inspect another 57 cars?
How bad could it be?
I mean, how bad could it be?
How bad?
But
well, Tim, man, I appreciate you coming on the show and making some time for us on the heels of a busy weekend. We certainly wish you the best of luck getting out there, and between all the team events you've got planned and all the other compact rounds you're going to be running, and obviously, of course, when you get down to the end there for the Cup, we hope you can work some magic out there.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for doing all that work that you did for me, and
Sure.
I'll see you on Saturday.
No problem, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Talk to you later.
We'll see you now.
have a good one.
Bye now. That was Tim Stilson wrapping up episode number 291 of the Crash Course. What?
291 is a big number.
Yep. I think what we should do is get to 299
And quit.
and just stop. Just stop. See how many messages we get people looking for episode 300.
I've been thinking about some ideas for 300. I think I'm going to impress you.
I know where your default 1 and 2 options go.
Yeah, you do. I wasn't even considering those two yet. I had some other things. Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
I was thinking if we did 300 on instead of Monday, we did, because it's going to fall in December. So theoretically, our schedule should be a little bit slower by then. We could do it on like a Friday or Saturday night, and then your options 1 and 2, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, and so we had to go home at night. Again, like I said, and I've said it before, and it may get annoying, but thank you for all the support. We that text said, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?" And so have hundreds of people watching us. It's really cool. So
yeah, it's been a long time. We cruised right past the anniversary for 31st lap earlier this year. We really didn't do anything special for that, but that show started in 2011. So that's
8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time there. Yep, this one's not been around nearly that long, but it's got 50 more episodes, and that's just in the studio.
Is that counting our on roads?
No, that's just in the studio, and we might be. Somebody messaged me last week or the week before, said that our episode count's wrong because episode 244 isn't on there. There's no episode 244 or 144 or something. There's like this lost episode where it went from 43 to 45 or 44 to 46 or something like that. It's like, sorry.
And on one of the many on-road trips we've done.
So plug one in.
How many have we done counting? Have you sat down and figured it out?
I had that a couple weeks ago. I figured up my total seat time for podcast was approaching 1,000 episodes because we're approaching 300 here. We were 250 on the other one. So just those numbers, 250 and 250 is 500. We had 60 field events plus live derbies, I think. And that number might be wrong, but I don't think 60 is too hard to imagine. We were doing 2 or 3. We were doing 2 or 3 a day at Blizzard Bash.
Yeah.
So I don't think that 60 number was too far off, but then it might have been. But then we had live derbies on top of that, and we had dozens of shows on 31st lap that we had from the field long before we even had this. We were doing 2 or 3 episodes a day from Super Dirt Week, and that's 3 or 4 days in a row. Mm-hmm. So it was. And then I think there's 60 final rounds. So there's a free 60 to just toss in there, plus the field shows that we had with them, which is half dozen or so.
You're iconic.
So I don't think that's true. I have a litany of messages that would suggest otherwise.
You are iconic, man.
I'm not doing the whole. I'm not doing it. That's what you're trying to do. Not doing the pose.
I think one of the things I'm going to try to do is get a statue made of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
We can put it right behind you there, where whenever they do anything on Finger Lakes 1, your statue will be behind.
I got a Lifetime Achievement Award after doing this for like 6 months. So everything past that's been irrelevant.
Wow.
Right?
Sweet.
Do you remember the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah. We hadn't been doing it that long, had we? Or was it a year?
No, that was the first year we went to
Winter Slam.
Winter
right?
Slam.
Yeah. So we had a whole lot more to do after that.
But what we'd done to that point was pretty cool.
We were at a banquet one time, and I got an achievement. I was recognized with an achievement award, and then my name was spelled wrong or something, or the plaque wasn't done, and they took it back, and then they kept it. It just never got any further than that point.
Whoops!
I was sort of entertained by that.
Cool.
That was cool.
Your that badass trophy. It's
still in my living room.
He's. I think this is his last season of doing them. I think I read
really?
somewhere. So you have a rare piece.
Yep.
You're the only one in New York to have one of those.
It's in the living room. It's next to all the plaques and stuff that the kids have accumulated from. Sometimes they win plaques, and sometimes I make too many, so I just let them have them, and they feel like winners. Because once they're done, what are you going to do with them? You know, once they're etched, they're etched. You can't just go back over them with epoxy and re-etch them. You know.
Yes, sir.
Jump online, SanFilippo Smash IV, SpinningWheelsProductions.com. All the information is there. JMW Motorsports on Facebook. Look up Ed Brewster. He's going to be traveling to Montpelier October 11th and 12th. We'll probably be following up with him next week. We're going to have Tim Ellison. The Ellison crew will be in to be talking about their fall cleanup show, which is scheduled for the 12th of October at Paradise Speedway. We're catching up with Steve Syop as well. Go Steelers, I guess, tonight.
Who are they playing?
The Bengals. I
guess I'll watch it.
I need some of the Bengals receivers to perform well. I'm down by about 13 points in my fantasy league.
I kind of can't believe that Steve turned down us to go to a Steelers game. That's crazy.
I can. I can totally see that.
Must be the whole growing up in the area thing. I don't know.
It must be. All right, what do you think? Cover all our
Stick
bases?
a fork in it.
Yep, that's going to do it for episode 291. We appreciate all the support and everybody hanging out with us. Get out there to SanFilippo. We'll be following up with some coverage of SanFilippo coming up next Monday. It's going to be a stacked show. We look forward to seeing you then. Thanks a lot.
The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at SmashItDerby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of May Mania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at StirringDirtRacing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLinks1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.